All right, we should be live on YouTube. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, we are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? I think I've fixed the audio issue. So let me know if the sound is good. If it cuts out, let me know. We should be fine. How you doing? How's it going, Tammy? Welcome. Audio good? You're coming through loud and clear. The lunch lady is Tammy, and she is welcome on this channel. Hey, TFT Rurik, how you doing? Thank you for being a channel member, the lunch lady. Much appreciated. Yeah, it looks really nice out today, but it is a little chilly. It's in the low 60s, so I got my jacket on. And yeah, it's been a long day. I've had a lot of clerical work to do today regarding many things. A lot of things to take care of for Dawn. Dawn's doing well. She says hello to everyone. Her and I may end up doing the show sometime over the next couple of days from the couch, so we'll see about that. But she's doing great. Like, she talked with her mother today, and it was just a wonderful call. I got to say hi to her mother, and all's well. All's well. Can't complain at all. Glad she's doing well. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, it's nice. It is nice, but the temperatures dropped from earlier. We've been having weather in the high 60s, low 70s around the middle of the day, but it's starting to come back down the other way. By the time I'm done with this walk, it'll be like in the high 50s. So looks can be deceiving. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm not going to complain. It was almost 80 in Florida. Yeah, that's the tropical weather you folks have out there. It's a really, really nice day. The only reason why I wouldn't live in Florida would be because of the hurricanes and stuff. Tornadoes, hurricanes, those types of things. Those tropical storms are pretty devastating. Here in California, we just deal with earthquakes. And we really haven't had to deal with any devastation since 1989. During the Loma Prieta earthquake. That was pretty crazy. It was ironic it happened during the Bay Bridge series between, the San Francisco Giants and the Oakland A's in the World Series. They called it the Bay Bridge series. And parts of Candlestick Park crumbled. Just parts of it. I mean, the thing withstood the earthquake for the most part, but there were a few parts that crumbled off. But that Candlestick Park was a phenomenal building. It was just in a bad part of town called Hunters Point. GLM can tell you about Hunters Point. It's not a good part of town in San Francisco. And it was just really cold there and windy. But anyway, we've been lucky the last few years. We get some from hurricanes, but we are inland far enough where it's not too bad. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. It does depend, how close you are to the coast. That is true. That is true. So if you're far enough inland, it's not going to really affect you as much. You'll probably get some rain and stuff, but you won't get the flooding that the people closer to the coast get. That's true. That's a good point. Anyway, This is episode number 683, and is the audio still good? Can you folks hear me tapping the ball? I think I've rigged it to work. We're about 20 miles from the Gulf, and we get the rain and wind, but nothing awful. Well, that's good. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, so today, for episode number 683, we're going to be talking about conflict resolution in regards to personal and business. Conflict resolution in regards to personal and business. And I wanted to do this show because there are many people that I've encountered out here on YouTube that have dealt with an abundance of conflicts. And sometimes it seems like these people, somebody's coming this way, so I'm going to have to go on the street with a baby. They're coming, so. So sometimes these people that get involved in these conflicts out here on YouTube, they try to resolve them, or they pretend to resolve them. And then next thing you know, one side or the other does some underhanded stuff, and the conflict is right back in full gear again. And why does this happen? I mean, it happens because there's a group of people out here, and I'm not just talking about the people that are a part of this former drama group I was involved with. There are a lot of people out here on this platform that create content from conflict. I've talked about it many times. Right? They create content from conflict. It's very busy at the park today. The parking lot was full on the other side. I think they're having a fiesta or something. Somebody's renting out the senior center building, so I had to park like way in the back. And then there's Little League. It's just packed. It is what it is. Lots of distractions, but that's something that comes with the territory, right? It's a great idea for a show, actually. Yeah, and I think, Tammy, this is something that you and I can talk about down the road and really help a lot of people understand that conflict resolution is super important to, being successful in life. A lot of people out here on this platform, and I refer to YouTube quite a lot because I've never ever seen such crazy and vile behaviors from grown adults anywhere else besides YouTube, and that leads me to believe one thing: they do it just for attention and to get clicks on their content, and in some cases some people make money off of it, which is fine. I don't care if you make money or not, and quite frankly I don't care what type of content people create as long as they leave me out of it, right? The problem is, they suck people in that don't want to be a part of it. If it benefits them and their agenda, and there's a group of people that want to see them talk about someone, people out here on YouTube automatically will insert you as part of their conflict, whether you like it or not. And to a certain extent, it's out of your control, but still, is it really necessary, right? Is it really necessary? I'll get to the chat in just a second here. 11 people here. Goes to show who your true supporters are, right? That is, I just wanted to mention that, and I don't, I'm waiting for some people to walk on by. I'm not here to complain. I'm sure somebody is rebroadcasting me again like they were yesterday, and that's fine. At some point, these people will realize this is a waste of their time, and it doesn't really matter, right? I did say that would happen, of course. We both knew it would happen on both sides. Conflict resolution is sometimes difficult because people refuse to communicate properly. I don't think that's the case, Tammy. I think what people refuse to do is the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing means you have to give up something, right? I understand where you're coming from. But in every case of conflict I've had in life, maybe most cases for the most part, I've always had to give something up to resolve the conflict, right? Well, put it this way, no one wants to say they are wrong. I don't think it's a matter of being right or wrong. See, the people that make it a matter of being right or wrong are missing the principle of the matter. And resolving conflict is not about admission of guilt or saying that anyone did anything wrong. It's about finding a happy medium, right? And that's, in the courts, they call that mediation, right? They get a mediator that mediates everything and finds a happy medium that's going to resolve the conflict, right? If it's a business conflict per se, right? We'll also talk about personal conflicts too, because, if you're like me that lives with a woman, you're going to have conflicts. I love Dawn, but we have our differences at times. And everyone that's in a relationship or has been in one knows that there are personal conflicts too, not just business conflicts. Conflicts surround us all the time. It's just how we want to handle them, right? With some people, you can't find that happy medium. Well, Tammy, I think the people that can't find the happy medium are struggling with more of an internal problem deep within themselves than anyone else, right? Because, in my opinion, people that are truly happy within themselves are going to want to resolve all conflicts as best as possible and as quickly as possible, right? And people that are happy with themselves internally are also more prone to give something up or give certain things up in order to resolve a conflict, right? Now, I want to make it very clear, in no way, shape, or form am I talking about, my case with Tammy. That's done. We're not talking about that anymore. But, obviously, stemming off of that, it's a really great thing to discuss how to help people learn to resolve conflicts. And why are people unable to resolve conflicts, right? If they're not able to, right? Or why aren't they willing to resolve conflicts, right? If you aren't willing to resolve a conflict, it's a personal problem you have deep within yourself. Maybe it involves your belief system. Maybe you lack empathy, right? If you lack empathy for others, there's no way in hell you're going to be able to resolve anything. People that lack empathy are going to always be fighting anyone and anything to get ahead in life. And you shouldn't have to fight, or at least you shouldn't have to always fight or fight as hard for things. Things should just come naturally, right? Things should just play themselves out. One conflict that I've been trying to resolve for years is the people that continue to rebroadcast my content for no reason. There's no reason to do it, right? The story that you've been talking about is long gone. There's no more story left to talk about, but I'm sure someone is rebroadcasting, because here's the thing. Those Coach Eli supposed haters are actually fans of my content. And when someone rebroadcasts me, they go over there, right? They go over there to watch your show because maybe they're technically banned here. Well, like I've been saying, if you've been watching my shows on a rebroadcast and you would rather chat here and you're ready to be civil and you're ready to move on past all of this stupid shit, right? Email me at coacheli at coacheli@melas.com. Grotesque. That person that's a GLM supporter. I got your email. Did not have a chance to unblock your main channel. I'll do that later tonight or tomorrow. I was just very, very super busy today with many other things. But anyone else that would rather chat here instead of going to some low quality simulcast of my content, email me and I'd be happy to unban you. Because the bottom line is, what are you going to get over there that you don't get over here? Because we're no longer going to be talking about the conflict, right? Hello, Sarah. How you doing? Also, I've made my decision as part of my conflict resolution and to try to further it, that I'm not going to be talking to anyone in the chat. If somebody is rebroadcasting me and they're coming here to chat, so that way they can ask me questions to ask the people on their simulcast, I will not be addressing you. If you come here as a spectator, I'll address you. So I don't know who's doing the simulcast right now. If someone wants to let me know, that's fine. But again, it's pointless to address questions from a simulcast, right? And my whole thing is this. I would really like this entire thing to end regarding my content being rebroadcasted everywhere. There's no point to it anymore. I really wanted to move forward. I really asked the people to just, hey, it's time to move on to bigger and better things. You folks got your story. You folks, I'm sure Tammy and I will put out some updates down the road when necessary, when the time is right. Her and I will decide on when to do that. And at that point, do what you got to do. But right now, there's really no point. You just said you want the broadcasting of your content to end. No, what I was saying is, Sarah, is that I really hope. I can't force any of you to do it. And I'm not going to take any action if you folks don't do it. What I'm saying is that I really wish that everyone would move on from Coach Eli drama. It no longer exists. It's overplayed. It's been said and done, right? Having rebroadcasts over positive content, it's not within the realm of what was being created initially, right? And so, I want to give those people the opportunity that are watching the rebroadcast to reach out to me to be unblocked if they want, as long as they plan on being civil in my chats. We can do that. Tammy and I are moving on, and we're going to grow our respective businesses as individuals, and at some point we might collaborate on some stuff. But her and I both now have 2 legal businesses, and we just want to move forward. That's all I'm saying. Conflict resolution. Just tell us stories while you walk without the drama aspect. That's fun. I don't know who you are, Kimberly. You've been pretty nice. Can you tell me who you are? I'm just curious to know. I mean, I'll share what I feel like sharing. It's what I do out here, and if people like what I'm doing currently, then they can stick around. If not, there's plenty of other content to consume. But I'm just done with the lolcow aspect, and so is Tammy. We're done with the lolcow aspect. Nobody really, just a viewer. I am interested in hearing what you think is the best way for conflict resolution. How to make it happen? I just read again what you said, Sarah, and that's taken out of context. I don't wish for the broadcasting of my content to end. I wish for the people that are rebroadcasting me to move on to bigger and better things. So just to clear up, I wanted to mention to you folks, YouTube came out with a new update that's going to change things once again. You're going to want to hear this because I noticed it the first time today while I was setting up this stream from my laptop, because you can now set up mobile streams from your laptop. In the past, you couldn't, but for the last 6 months or so, you've been able to. Oh, it's Susie doing it again? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Susie was doing it yesterday too. Yeah, I'm asking you again, Susie, to stop rebroadcasting me. I mean, I can't control what you do, but I've been nothing but nice to you, and it doesn't matter whether I'm nice to you or not, as long as you can have an audience there and broadcast something that could potentially make you some money. That's why you do it. But I can ask you nicely to stop doing it. I really want this to end. I really want this entire group to just... I'd love to be friends with you folks, but I want you to leave my content alone. I'm done with this. Okay? You're welcome to come here and chat. Any of you. And if you want to request to be unbanned, I can do that. But I will not be unbanning. There's only a few people that are unbanned that I've given permission to rebroadcast me. That's Sarah and that's Jamie. But anyone else does not have my permission to rebroadcast me and is still banned. So I'm asking you, Susie, to please move on to bigger and better things. I don't know how much more cordial I can be. I don't know how much more cordial I can be. Now, how to resolve conflicts? Yeah, who is that you just banned, GLM? I'm just curious. Was that a troll, like a known troll? I'm just kind of curious. Hey, GLM, how you doing? How's the audio? Is the audio good? Let me check. I'll be right back. All right. All right, we're back live. We are back live. Can you folks hear me clearly and see me clearly? Put a 1 to chat. We should be good. Here's a... Hold on a second. It was a troll that said that Tammy was in Susie's restream. I wouldn't care if Tammy was in Susie's restream, but I don't think she would go there. But I wouldn't care if she did. But that's cool. No, good job, GLM. That's fine. You did a good job. You banned the troll. Your move is justified. Like, you know, it's all good. I appreciate it. That's fine, Tammy. You could pop on in to say hi. But, you know, some people could perceive that as supporting someone of content theft. But hey, I don't care. You see, this is where all these conflicts of interest come into place. You know what I mean? And these are the games I just, you know, I'm not here to pin and pit people against each other. I don't care. I don't really care. Doesn't matter. But, you know, you asked me, Tammy, if, you know, how do we resolve conflicts? Like, what's, in this case, how would this conflict be resolved, right? Well, here's the thing. The best way to resolve this conflict is to try to ask them to stop, which they're not going to do. The next best thing to do is for people that are supporting creators that are creating content theft or have, you know, been abusing someone's content for a while, is to just withdraw from those creators, right? Because if the rebroadcasts have no support or not enough support, they're not going to do them, right? They're only being done because there's enough support, right? There's still enough support through the Coach Eli haters to do it, right? That's why it's done. What I'm saying is, I'm asking you, Susie, to be mature about this whole thing and ask yourself, is rebroadcasting my content to a bunch of my haters the most mature act that you can do on YouTube? I can ask you that. I'm not attacking you. I'm just asking you, is that the most mature act that you can do on YouTube? I'm addressing you right now. I'm not gonna look at your response. I'll look to see if you respect my wishes or not. Right? Is it the most mature thing to do? Do you think it's adult-like to behave in the way you're behaving? Right? Whether you feel you have the right under fair use to do what you're doing or not, that's not the point. The point is, do you feel what you're doing is the most mature thing? Or are you doing it because there's an audience that hates me and they're going to pay you money to do it, right? I don't care about the money. I'm a man of principle. You could take the money all you want. Doesn't matter. And see, Tammy, here's the thing. Respectfully speaking, you go wherever you want to go. If you want to support the rebroadcast or just pop in to say hi, no problem. But popping in there even to say hi, it kind of stirs the pot up a little bit, right? No big deal. I'm not offended. I'm not upset. It is what it is. I know you have some friends still over there, and that's what makes it tough, because when it comes to this group of people on YouTube, they're intermingled and torn, right? No, she's not in there, but Tammy said she popped in there for a second to say hi, GLM. Did you hear me say that? She said she popped in there to say hi. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's why the troll was saying she was in there, because she popped in to say hi. What I'm saying, GLM, it should someone that doesn't support this type of stuff even pop in there to say hi. I'm not holding that against her. I'm just saying even little things like that antagonizes these people to continue doing the same thing, right? It's okay, though. It's not a big deal. Oh, I know. No, Tammy, I know. You don't have to explain to me. I'm not offended. I'm not upset that you went in there. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is that part of resolving things with people that are not open to resolution is ignoring them and not supporting them. Because the more we pay attention to them, or the more people continue to support them, like my haters, it gives them the fire to keep doing it, right? Because without us talking about it, or without there being an audience for that content, there'd be no point for them to do it, right? They know that. Maybe if I put lunch lady in my name, Eli will see me. I see you, Mrs. Smith. How you doing? Sorry. Will I be doing a members only stream soon? I'm sorry, Mrs. Smith. I was in the middle of a subject. I was going to get to the chat. I'm sorry. Probably Dawn and I might do one over the weekend. We're not quite sure yet. And we're not sure if this one's going to be public or members only, but we will get the members only streams coming back within a few weeks. LOL, that name is taken at Mrs. Smith. Yeah. Can we get a dance stream going? I have been. Yeah, when I'm up to it, I'm up to it. When I get up to it, I'll do a dance stream, GLM, maybe. I don't know. I got a lot going on. Yeah, is it possible that some conflicts can't be resolved? Yeah. Sometimes some conflicts cannot be resolved, right? And that's why sometimes you have to go to court and get them resolved that way, right? And Tammy and I understand that, right? I think her and I could have resolved this out of court if, in my opinion, a bunch of people didn't stick their nose into our business. But that's too late, and there was no way to know how this was going to go until after it happened, right? And that's the problem. The problem is, out here on YouTube, is you have a lot of instigators within these certain cliques, right? It's like a team effort that continues this drama type of content to happen, right? Without that team effort, it just, wouldn't be possible, right? Go ahead. Mrs. Smith says, I am just messing around. Eli knows I have a feisty side. I'm happy all of this is resolved. Yeah, me too. I'm happy it's resolved. The thing I want to resolve now is I really just, to be honest with you, I don't hate anyone in this drama group. I'm not a fucking lolcow. And I'm tired of the lolcow content. And I mean, if you want to get your people and you want to keep rebroadcasting my content for lolcow content, okay, then, I'll tell you, the more and more that I grow, I'm sure the more and more Tammy grows. Tammy, you don't want any more of the lolcow stuff, right? You said that you're done with all this stuff. We've all had our moments on YouTube. We've all done some dumb shit, okay? No one's denying that. But from what I gathered, Tammy's mentioned on her streams, and what I've said is that the lolcow stuff is done. Nah, I am done with all that. Yeah. And so what I'm saying is that I'd really like this group of people that continue to rebroadcast me to just move on. I gave you folks all permission to cover the case and all that. And now it's all done. It's time to move on because, there's no reason to be rebroadcasting a stream of where I'm talking about conflict resolution in general. What do you think you're going to get out of this, Susie, that is worthy of you rebroadcasting? What are you going to get out of this? That's a fair question. Are you hoping that I fight with Tammy and this whole thing blows up? That's not going to happen. Are you bored and have nothing better to do and your only audience are my haters, so you want to capitalize off of them for as long as you can? Because that would make sense. What is the point? There is no point. The point is this is what you can capitalize off of right now. And that's fine. As long as people know that, do what you got to do. And if a bunch of grown-ass adults that have nothing better to do than to follow a rebroadcast of my content and call me a lolcow, man, you folks are more pathetic than I thought you were. Brutal Mafia, you're a pathetic piece of garbage yourself. I don't have a problem facing you. Pathetic piece of garbage, right? I've got most of the variations of Brutal Mafia blocked and one slipped through the cracks. Another one will be added to the list tonight, Brutal. See, here's the thing, Brutal, and anyone else. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Tammy and I came to a resolution to end the conflict. And you folks aren't good with it because it gives you no more conflict for your content, right? You can come in here and trash talk myself and Tammy, and all we're going to do, Brutal, is laugh in your face. That's all we're going to do is laugh in your face. The people that keep rebroadcasting, all we're going to do is laugh in your face. That's all. At Mrs. Smith, loser's an understatement. Mrs. Smith, no problem. I owe you one. I judged you and didn't know you. For that, I apologize. I didn't know her that well either. Now, I thought, listen, in all fairness, when I first heard about Tammy, I wanted to work with her, and I was persuaded to not, but I also didn't associate with her because of other people she was associated with. Had those people still been around, it might have been a different story. So, I think this allows everyone to see my true colors, Tammy's true colors, and everything else, right? And these people, these loser drama people, honestly, look, here's the thing. Tammy, I got to talk about this because this is going to make a lot of sense, okay? I don't feel the need to, but I want to, okay? What do these people have, and what do Tammy and I have? Now, look, Tammy and I are not rich people. We're doing okay, right? But both her and I are licensed insurance brokers. I'm still licensed to sell insurance, property and casualty, and life and health in California. And I'll tell you, the homeowners market in California and the auto market, like everywhere, is in scrutiny. That, like, insurance right now is a very, very, very difficult business to be in. It was much easier when I was doing it. It's harder to write homeowners policies, and especially if you're in a designated brush zone, a fire zone. Okay, they're finding reasons to cancel people by using drones and aerial shots. I'm glad I'm not currently selling. I still have my licenses. They're active, but I'm not actively selling. I'm not appointed to sell with anyone. Tammy's also an insurance broker. She sells life insurance. Not life insurance, sorry. You do life and health. You do life and health. I think more so on the health side. So we both have 2 professional licenses. The people that are trolling us, what do you have? And even if you have something, how would we know? Because you don't even identify yourself. RJ Sands? That's not the real you, RJ. That's not the real RJ, is it? Yes, life and health, but more health. You're correct. Nope. You're out of here, RJ Sands. Sock account. RJ Sands. It's okay. So look at it this way. We both have insurance licenses. It's been the primary way that we made our income, right? What do you folks have? You tell me, what licenses do you folks hold? I'm not talking about our businesses, like our I'll call them a side hustle. Until they're built, they're a side hustle, right? We're not talking about a business license for the businesses that we now have, the Genuine Neighborhood Association, both versions. We're talking about actual licenses to transact insurance sales. You have to have an insurance agent/broker license to do that. They're not easy to get. The fact that her and I were able to pass the tests to get them, I had to pass 2 tests. And the property and casualty one is much harder than life and health. I'll tell you that. There's a lot. I'm only saying this because you folks want to, now come at Tammy and I. But what do you have to come at us with? I don't even want to talk about this, but it's so stupid that it needs to be pointed out. Well, I was going to say, I hope they are getting overtime pay. Tammy didn't want to talk about this, but the bottom line is that, Susie and the rest of them are going to keep rebroadcasting no matter what we say or do. We could talk about the sky being blue, and she would rebroadcast me, right? We could talk about it's raining in Redwood City today, and they would rebroadcast me. We could talk about shoving a laxative up my asshole to help me take a shit, and they would rebroadcast me. Right? We can talk about my mother gave me birth 50 years ago, and they would rebroadcast me. We could talk about that I grind my beans in the morning, fresh, before I brew my coffee, and they would rebroadcast me. We could talk about I put 4 packets of Equal in every big cup of coffee, and 2 scoops of Coffee Mate non-dairy creamer, and they would rebroadcast me. We could talk about me breathing air to stay alive, and they would rebroadcast me. We could talk about I shave my bald head once a week, and they would rebroadcast me. We could talk about me wiping my rear end after taking a number 2, and they would rebroadcast me. We can talk about me buying a nice new outfit for court and putting it on my community wall, and they would rebroadcast me. Right? We could talk about me using deodorant so I don't stink like shit, and they would rebroadcast me. We could talk about me taking a shower every day, and they would rebroadcast me. That was the Redwood City Police checking to make sure the park is okay. Just drove right past me. Said hello. Give me a second here. I'm not done yet, GLM. There's more. I'm not done. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We could talk about me going to the gas station and filling up my car with premium gas instead of regular for a Honda Accord, and they would rebroadcast me. We could talk about me going to get an oil change, and they would rebroadcast me, right? We could talk about, I could talk about myself washing my car, and they would rebroadcast me. I could talk about me taking Dawn to a doctor's appointment, and they would say, ooh, we got to rebroadcast Eli because he's taking Dawn to a doctor's appointment. It doesn't matter what I say or do. It doesn't matter what I say or do. There are people that will pay these people to rebroadcast me just for living. Right? That's it. I know my example was a little bit extreme, but I think you all get the point now, don't you? Last time I saw the police, I abruptly started running, and they chased me. Asked me why I ran. I said I just wanted to take a little jog. They had to let me go. It was pretty awesome. I had to tap because your name is off your name is so long, GLM, it's off the screen. I had to tap your message to open up another window to be able to read it because it's getting cut off the screen. Damn, your YouTube channel name is way too long. It's going off the screen here, and they finally fixed the mobile format issue. You're famous, man. You have to face it. Famous for what? What am I famous for? Famous in front of a bunch of imbeciles? Famous? Listen, I know you're kind of having a little fun, and that's cool. No big deal. I'm not offended. I am not. I'm laughing along with you. Embrace the fame. Embrace the fame. Embrace the fame from a group of people that like to create content out of conflict, that like to make content out of me farting or going pee-pee or getting out of bed in the morning or making myself breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I mean, embrace the fame from this group of people? Are you out of your mind? No disrespect. I get where you're coming from. I wouldn't call it fame. I would call it they're envious. They're envious for some reason. Respectfully speaking, I am not famous. And I know you're kind of joking about it, but I'm keeping it real. I'm not famous at all. And I don't even really care about fame. I care about just getting my message out and helping the right people that were meant to cross my path. Do you know what I'm saying? They had broadcast you every stream in February. Oh, they broadcast every one way or another, 100%. They're all being rebroadcasted. And I really just wish they would just leave me alone. I really wish that they would just move on to something else. Because this whole thing is done. There's nowhere left to go with it, right? Now, during the final lap, I'm going to be talking about... Can you folks still hear me okay? Audio good? Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, we're back live. We are back live. Audio's been good. I fixed the audio issue. We've been good the whole entire time. Joking, do you know how many people watch you? They're not watching because they don't like watching. It's a fact. Audio is great. Thank you, Ms. Smith. Well, Kimberly, yeah, I mean, did you find that about me through the drama group, through someone else? I know you probably don't want to say, but I'm curious to know where you came from. Because you seem to know the story. And that's cool. I want to be respectful, you know what I'm saying? So you came from the Legion. That's cool, no problem. I'm sure you're still a part of the Legion, I'm assuming. No problem if you are, it doesn't matter. I don't have a problem with Jamie or Sarah. I don't even really have a problem with Susie. It's just that Susie doesn't have my permission to rebroadcast my streams. Only Jamie and Sarah do. And that's an agreement that I made with them. And there's a reason for that. I'm new everywhere around here. Okay. Okay, cool. Yes, the audio has been really good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Tammy, the lunch lady. The problem with the YouTube stuff and social media is that the moment the conflict is resolved, so is the content. So it is the job of these creators to keep doing whatever they can to allow the conflict to continue, or else they have no more content. And Tammy, I'm sure you understand that. I mean, honestly, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, Tammy. I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm just saying that's exactly what it is. The creators that there were a lot of creators that were talking about the case, right? The creators that were talking about our case didn't want us to end the conflict because then the content is done. And I think that that's something that you ended up realizing as well. When I first started doing this many years ago, I didn't realize what I know now. And I think now you're starting to realize this content over conflict type of thing, right? Normally, when some is covering drama, yes, that would be true. Okay, fair enough. One more lap to go, folks. One more lap to go. So, I think your only options, if you're unable to resolve certain conflict and it affects your livelihood, if it affects your livelihood, especially monetarily, then you may have to take someone to court. I mean, and if it's involving copyright over your content, that's a pain in the butt to deal with, very expensive, because there is now small claims court. There's a small claims court version of copyright court for small claims, but it is more of a mediation. And the person that you sue through that can opt out. So what's the fucking point of having this if the person you're going to sue for violating your copyright is just going to opt out? Then you still have to sue them in a federal copyright court, which is going to cost tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to get attorneys and all that. Mrs. Smith with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to heart that. So glad you both resolved this. Nice job. Thank you again, Mrs. Smith, for your $5 super chat and your $5 super thanks on the live stream replay the other day right here on Coach Eli 2. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's very kind of you. That is awesome, and thank you, Mr. Smith, says Tammy, the lunch lady. I don't really like calling you that, Tammy, because I don't want to be rude. I guess you're playing along with the joke that some people called you out here. I mean, I respect the fact that you're owning the BS, right? But it's like, it just sounds weird to me, you know? But it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Thank you again, Mrs. Smith. I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, in some cases, you're kind of screwed because a small creator like myself doesn't have the money to go to a federal copyright court to protect my content, right? So the people that are abusing my content, and I'm not accusing anyone directly of abusing it. This is for example purposes. The people that are rebroadcasting me all the time, they know there's not much I can do because of the legal loophole in the law. And even if I had the money to fight this, like, why am I going to spend $100,000 to fight a $5,000 or $2,000 claim? Right? It's not worth it. So in those situations, Tammy and everyone else, I've talked about this before, I'll say it again, you're pretty screwed. You got to let it go. The bottom line is, it's almost like you have to let them do it. There's no other way around it. You got to let them do it. Sometimes you got to give something up to be able to resolve the issue. Usually you have to give something up. Is it fair? In most cases not. Some cases it may be, right? But that's why it's called a conflict resolution. You got to find a happy medium that satisfies both sides or satisfies everyone involved, or the fight will never end. And I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to fight. I don't like to fight. I can't fight. When I say fight, I don't mean fist fight. I mean like a legal fight and stuff like that. I know how to do it. I can do it, and I will defend myself. But I don't like it. I don't like to fight. I am not a fighter. Confrontation can be difficult. Folks, are we back live? I just saw the little circle turn on my screen. Are we back live, and can you still hear me okay? It probably cut out for just a second. All right, we should be back live. Can you folks hear me and see me? We probably went off the air for a second. I was going to mention something, and then I will wrap up the show by talking about personal relationship conflicts. Yeah, it disconnected me. I lost a cell signal, but YouTube just gave me the option to reconnect. If the app shuts down, they give you the option to reconnect. They've really fixed the app. I'm proud of you, YouTube. And one more thing I want to mention now before I get to the next part. So YouTube, I was going to say this earlier, but I got distracted. YouTube actually launched something today. Okay? YouTube launched something today that's going to change the way that many creators make content out here, including the group of people in this drama group. Especially if you create cartoons, alter people's voices and stuff like that, like mine. Okay? You now have to disclose that, or your channel could be shut down for community guideline violations. It is the altered content policy. Listen very carefully. I'm going to do a full-blown stream on this, maybe later tonight from the main channel or tomorrow. This is huge. I could not believe this. When I went to create my stream from YouTube Studio on my laptop earlier today, because I was mentioning earlier, you can create mobile streams from your laptop or desktop now. Before, you had to do it all from the app. When I went to create my stream today for the show, a new feature popped up saying you must now disclose if you use altered content. Yes or no? And I put no because this is the real me on the fly. There's nothing altered here, but other people alter me by way of cartoons, splicing me out of context. That's all altered content. Splicing someone out of context. Taking words they're saying and mismatching those words, that's altered content. Whoa, ho, ho. See, this platform keeps getting better, right? It's going to shut down all the BS, right? Go to Google and search altered content YouTube. Go to the Google help pages and read about it. You must declare if you're altering someone's voice for a cartoon or anything like that, or you're taking something spliced out of context, you must declare. The reason why they're doing this is a lot of AI generated stuff is becoming the future. I will have to check that out. Pretty interesting, huh? Huh, Tammy? Pretty interesting, right? I watch all that stuff. When it comes to YouTube, I know everything about YouTube. Not saying I'm all that. When it comes to YouTube, I know every part of it inside and out. Yeah. They can't do that to you too, Tammy. They can't alter your voice and make cartoons out of you without disclosing that it's altered content. That's a big, big step in the right direction, Team YouTube. God bless you. The community posts now can receive community guidelines. Now, community posts, when you flag them, they get tagged as a community post being flagged. And every time you flag someone on YouTube, you get a notification into the email associated with that account that flagged it, right? So if somebody is bullying and harassing one of your postings, you can flag that. Oh, wow. That is interesting for sure. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, Tammy. Let me be clear. I'm not the kind of person that wants to shut anyone down or take anyone down. I don't. At the same time, I'm just really tired of people stealing from me, even if it's technically fair use, right? Even if they can get away with fair use, like doing it all the time every day is not fair use, right? Now, here's the thing. Is there a difference between altered content and transformed content? There is. So, altered content would be if somebody took this video and spliced the audio out of context to make it sound like I was saying something different. Or if you took my audio and put an AI generated picture of me, that's altered content. But if you're rebroadcasting me to a certain point, because if you use too much, it's still not transformative, it's still copyright infringement. But if you're reviewing someone's video under fair use, which technically allows you to take a small portion using small excerpts that are transformative in nature, as long as you don't alter the content, you can do a review and use small clips of someone else's content under fair use. That's transformative in nature. That's the difference between transformative and altered. Look it up. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to do a stream on this on the main channel. Probably, maybe not tonight. I'll be too tired. Probably tomorrow at some point. So to all you out there that make cartoons and want to use other people's voice to do it, or use an AI generated image of other people, right? You have to declare that as altered content. If not, I'm not going to flag you. I don't care. I'm just putting it out there because I'm just thrilled that YouTube has changed their rules. I'm letting people know that now they're taking a stronger stance against this stuff with their new altered content policy. Check it out. Don't believe me. No one ever believes a damn thing I say or do. No one ever believes a damn thing I say or do until it speaks for itself. That's it. All right. Now let's talk about conflict resolution, personal conflict resolution. That could mean in regards to a relationship, a dating relationship, or a marriage. Like I have a relationship with Dawn. You can have conflicts amongst your friends, right? Your guy friends or your girlfriends. It's always wise to make sure you know the rules. Yep. It's a good point. Good point, Tammy. It's a very good point. I'm going to talk about my relationship real quick because I love Dawn and we've got something special. And we're still together. It's been about 2.5 years now. We're going on almost 3 years. Won't get into trouble that way, LOL. Yeah. Oh, one day, Tammy, if you're open to it, when everything's all said and done, we can do some shows on this. It's very important stuff. I'm telling you this. Here's the thing, Tammy. Here's what we have to look forward to. Now, again, I'm just throwing this out there. Again, you got to figure out what's best for you and decide what you want to do. But we got other people like Robert Reese and all these other people. There are a lot of people that want to, I guess, hear our story or go on their panels and stuff. And I think when the time is right, we can go and do those shows for the right reason, right? To share about conflict resolution and how, things are better when you resolve things instead of, continuing to fight. It is important for sure, says Lunch Lady. I need to work on lowering my voice. I tend to yell when I'm upset, says Mrs. Smith. Okay. Lunch Lady, RR does not know what he's talking about ever. Okay, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. I don't have a problem with Robert. The only reason why I backed away is because, it's like I just didn't want to deal with the trolling. I didn't want, him to continue benefiting off my hate audience while it makes matters worse for me. And it was nothing against Robert. I don't have a problem with anyone. It's just if something is not going to benefit all parties, then I'm not going to be a part of it. I won't even do things that only benefit me. The bottom line, how to say this? The bottom line is this: what people don't realize about me is I'm a fair person. Even if something completely benefited me, and not any other side that would want to work with me, if someone wanted to interview me on their channel and it made me a lot of money and them nothing, I wouldn't do it, because I only do things that are a win-win. It has to be a two-way street. If not, I don't feel good about it. Nothing of what he spoke of, and I hate having misinformation out there. He was discussing our case earlier today. Someone sent me the stream. Well, he doesn't know what's going on. I'll agree with you on that. I mean, maybe at some point, when it's all said and done, we'll figure it out. Maybe it's not even worth going to do all these interviews, Tammy. Maybe we do some stuff collaboratively every now and then when it makes sense. I'm just saying that I'm open to whatever, I'm open to just helping people better learn to resolve conflict, because that's all this boils down to. And a lot of what I do out here involves conflict. And I think if we can resolve the conflict in this drama group and just get everyone to, just move on to bigger and better things, I think then we'll all feel amazingly accomplished. I agree, misinformation is out of control around here. Yeah. No, I understand, and I agree with that too. I do. Now, when Don and I have a conflict, right? If we disagree on something, I will sit down and talk it out with her. Now, we got to understand, like Jenny, or let's start over again. Okay. Let's start over again, because she's not here. I got the wrong person. Like Miss Smith was saying a bit ago. Okay. She needs to calm down when she's dealing with conflicts, right? It's not unusual, and I say this respectfully, ladies, it's not unusual that women will yell or scream or become extremely loud and emotional when a conflict is happening with their partner, right? That doesn't mean the man's abusing the woman. That means the woman is just being run by her emotions, and that's what happens. And as a man, you have to learn to understand that. Now, when you're a younger man, you're not going to understand women as well as you do when you get older. And I don't think any man, including myself, will ever understand how female nature works. But when you're 50 years old, you got a much better understanding of it than you did when you were like 15 or 18 or 20 or 25, right? So you got to take that into consideration. And in my opinion, Miss Smith says, because you guys don't listen. Oh, if I'm upset enough, you can hear me 3 states away. Well, I won't doubt that, Tammy. Your job as a man is to try to defuse the situation. And again, like I was saying earlier, Tammy and Miss Smith and anyone else that's here, part of coming to a resolution is giving something up, right? And you should never have any problem giving something up for the woman you love if you're a man. And let's say there's a conflict and she's yelling and you're trying to calm her down, right? Okay? How I handle those situations, I say, hey, baby, I'm sorry, what did I do? I immediately, whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter if I'm right or wrong. Right? What I do is I say, hey, baby, I'm sorry, did I do something wrong? I'm sorry that you feel that way. What can I do to make you feel better? Nothing. Okay. Would you like to talk about it? No. Okay. I can give you a little bit of space. Come back in 20 minutes. We can talk about it. No, let's talk about it right now. Well, you just say you didn't want to talk about it now. Well, now I do. Okay. You see how it works? You got to sit there as a man, be cool, calm, and collected. You're the rock. And the more that she tries to break you and you don't break, then she'll start calming down because she'll feel your strength. Women want to feel your strength, even your emotional strength. You can't lose your shit. You lose your shit, you make the matters worse. You make the matters worse. If you're a man and you lose your shit while your woman's losing hers, you're going to make the matter so much worse. It's like pouring gas on the fire. You don't want to do that. You want to pour water on the fire, right? Read my last comment. It's important. You can get a new daddy. Get a new daddy. Police will take the old one away in a caddy. You can get a new daddy. Get a new daddy. Stay up real late. Kick back. God. Is that what you wanted me to read? Lunch lady, says Miss Smith, my neighbors hate me. My husband leaves the screen door open because he knows I won't yell. That's a smart dude right there, man. Lunch lady says, LOL at Miss Smith, guess he knows how to diffuse. You know what you did, Eli? What did I do? A little unconventional, but if it works, LOL, says lunch lady. Read my last comment. It's important. I would read that. That would escalate me. What would escalate you, Miss Smith? What would escalate you, Mrs. Smith? Be more specific. Waiting for some people to pass on by. That was great, LOL. If my husband was all of a sudden calm and nice, that's the way you handle it. And here's the thing. When a man is calm and nice, initially it is going to make the woman more upset. But it's going to make her more upset because she knows her man is trying to defuse the situation and do the right thing. Listen, just because women get these crazy emotional rages at times doesn't mean you ladies are stupid. You're not stupid. And when we're trying to diffuse it, you know we're trying to help you out. At the same time, you ladies hate it, you love it. The bottom line is the man has to stay calm. The man has to stay calm. And just say, come on, baby, it's okay. You know, I'll tell you what, you know. What's your favorite dessert? I'll run out and grab a dessert real quick for us. So, you offer her something. Like when you love a woman, so you don't do this when you first start dating someone. That's a different story. When you've been with someone for years, that's when it's okay to give them the world. You don't give a woman the world after you've been with her for only like a few weeks or so. It's too soon. But once you're established, it becomes a different story. It's almost kind of like you're married, even if you're not. To be fair, I'm a lot of things. Stupid is not one of them. Many other adjectives, but not stupid. No. I've never thought you were stupid. I know you weren't saying that, but he secretly antagonizes me. Well, what he's doing is busting your chops in a playful way. Okay? Because if he didn't bust your chops in a playful way to try to diffuse the crazy emotions, then you want to respect him. See, Mrs. Smith, in all honesty, tell me you respect your husband because he stands up to you. A man has to stand up to his woman in a loving yet dominant way. What I mean by dominant is not violence. What I mean is you gotta not be afraid to call her out if she does something wrong. You cannot be afraid to try to diffuse a situation and do the right thing. The woman is looking at you for your strength. And if you come off as weak, there's no more respect. Without respect, she's out the door. She's on her way out. And if you're married, you go through divorce if she doesn't respect you anymore. Do you think I should leave the room to calm down? That's up to you. I mean, a man's job is not to control what the woman does. It's to try to diffuse a situation. If we try to control what you do, then you're going to say, oh, you're trying to control us. And, that could almost be considered abuse, right? You got to be careful, right? It's not about leaving the room or anything like that. But if that's what you want to do, you do what you feel is right for the situation. But if you love your husband, you're going to take his feelings, thoughts, and needs into consideration as much as you want yours taken into consideration, right? You know what I'm saying? But you do respect him, Mrs. Smith, right? You have respect for him because he's always trying to do the right thing for you and the family. Yes, but I get so worked up. Lunch lady, I won't make it to 10. What do you mean by that? What does that mean you won't make it to 10? Deep breaths and counting to 50. Oh, I see. That's what Tammy wrote. I respect him a lot. Exactly. And because you respect him, that's why he's able to diffuse a situation. The truth of the matter is, Mrs. Smith, is that when you're going through stuff, usually your husband is not the issue. It's not even you being the issue. It's just a situation that is bothering you, or maybe you feel is bothering you, or maybe you're tired or worn out or whatever, right? Or maybe you're constipated. Like when I'm constipated, and I've struggled with constipation since birth. I've shared that many times out here, right? When I'm constipated, Dawn notices I'm a lot more irritable. And I'm not getting irritated at her, but when she asks me for stuff, and I'm constipated, I'm still calm, but she can tell, like, my voice is a little bit different, right? So after I took a dump earlier today, I'm like, baby, I'm sorry. No more constipation. I'm back to being a fully nice guy. I'm always a nice guy, don't get me wrong, or good guy. Nice guys finish last. I mean, good guy, right? But, but yeah, constipation can cause people to be irritable, right? You get constipated at all, Jenny? I mean, I screwed up. I'm so screwed up. I'm sorry. God, I can't. I keep messing up. I can't. I can't. I messed up. I'm so sorry. I got so much going on, I just can't even keep things straight anymore. Miss Smith. Son of a gun. It's okay, Eli. LOL. Yeah. Why are you talking about fecal matter? My number 2 issues in my marriage. Oh. Well, what I'm saying is, Mrs. Smith, is everyone gets constipated at times, even if they don't have chronic constipation like I do. Like I've had it since birth, right? And maybe during one of those times where you're constipated, that might affect your mood. I mean, it affects my mood, and I'm a guy. So if you're constipated as a lady, I can only imagine it's like a volcano blowing up, right? I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm not you. I'm not you. Anyway, conflicts amongst friends, resolve them by giving up something. Until somebody gives up something, you're not going to resolve a conflict. You have to understand that if you're in a conflict with someone and you think you're going to get exactly your way, that conflict will not be resolved. You have to compromise and find a happy medium. There you go. We can talk about this more another time. But I got to go, and if you have your gallbladder out, number 2 won't be an issue anymore. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. No one caught it. No, I am regular, says Mrs. Smith. Okay, I end up mocking and mimicking him. I transfer the energy back to him, and only when he is annoyed too do I calm down. Oh, so you basically push your husband to the point of getting triggered before you can calm down. So basically, if you're not able to trigger your husband, you won't stop. So you want to know that you still are able to. God, that's horrible, Mrs. Smith. God, oh my God, that is, Mrs. Smith. Let me tell you something. That would really, really piss me off if Don was like that, but I still wouldn't get triggered. You know why? Because the problem is this. If Dawn tries to intentionally trigger me, which she's never done that, but if she did, I would stay more calm, because it's the same thing with the trolls and haters out here. They try to intentionally trigger me, and when they can't trigger me, they get more triggered themselves. It's called the reverse triggering, right? Okay? There was a show I was on. People have seen it. You can still look for it. Somebody re-uploaded it. Rogue Internet Man tried to interview me. He tried to trigger me for 2 hours on his show. And he kept asking me stupid questions, kept bringing on people onto his panel to try to trigger me, right? And all I kept saying was, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. Go watch the show. Look up Coach Eli, Rogue Internet Man. You'll see that show, right? And he got so triggered after 2 hours that he couldn't trigger me, that he kicked me off his own show. I didn't rage quit. He kicked me off his own show because he tried so hard to trigger me that he got triggered. Very triggered, right? The bottom line is, if you want to play it smart, I've learned this on YouTube, that if you can pull the reverse triggering, then you prevail, and you prevail handling things maturely. If you know people are trying to trigger you on purpose, and you show up, and they try to trigger you, and you stay cool, calm, and collected, it triggers them instead, the reverse triggering, and then they're even more triggered because they weren't able to pull a fast one on you. You flipped it on them, right? And listened, you were very calm. You know, I found that interview once. And listened, you were very calm. Oh, so you've actually seen it. It's still out there. I actually downloaded the original from his channel when I was on. This was about almost 3 years ago, Tammy. But it's still, there's a re-upload of it out there. Somebody put it out there. But yeah, oh yeah, I went on there knowing the guy was trying to trigger me. And you know who fed him all the information? It was you, James. It's okay. I don't care. We hadn't made our peace yet back then. It's not a big deal. But yeah, James and some other people fed him all the information. I went on there to just prove that I could just survive 12 rounds. That's why I did it. Anyway, he is listening and laughing because he said you are right. Yeah, no, I'm not even trying to be right. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's the reverse triggering, right? Like, I would never let any woman get me to that level. Because if I got to that level, then who knows? I'm not a harmful person. I would never want to harm anyone. I would never want to harm anyone, let alone Don. I love Don so much, right? I would never let anyone trigger me to the level of where I lose my shit and I harm someone. That's why you just got to stay calm. That's it. As a man, you got to just eat that shit up. You got to smile and say, come on, baby, you're getting triggered for no reason. No, I'm not getting triggered. Yeah, baby. Baby, listen, I'm going to go take a walk, and you could yell at the wall if you want. And when I come back from my walk, if you're feeling better, I can cook you a nice dinner. You better hurry your ass back. All right, babe, I'll see you in a bit. You just can't. You just cannot let. You got to understand it is what it is. I used to break stuff, but I am better now. Well, God, Jesus Christ. God, I don't even want to think about this. Yes, it was a while. It was 3 years ago. I think almost 3 years ago, or just over 3 years ago, Tammy. Yeah. All right, folks, we're at 92 minutes, an hour and 32 minutes. I got to run. I got to stop by the store, grab a few more things. Then I bought a nice flank steak, £1.50. It's a Harris Ranch flank steak, nice piece of steak that Don and I have been marinating all day. It's in the fridge right now. I mean, shit, $26 for that thing, I'll tell you. But it's a big piece of steak. It's a good quality piece of steak, and we got some artichokes, and we're gonna boil those, and we're gonna have a nice dinner. I had a good time. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it. Hey, Tammy, thank you for everything else. I'm not going to mention other things here publicly, but thank you for everything else. I really mean that. I really mean that. And, there's a lot more to come. A lot more good stuff to come, right, Tammy? A lot more good stuff to come. Bye, Eli and Lunch Lady. Have a great night. All right, folks. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. Take it easy.